Hello, visuals, and welcome to your third installment of The Last of Us spoiler-heavy review, whatever, shenanigans.
Right, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Did you see, more importantly, did you see that video I put on my Facebook? I maybe should have shown you it before this. No. And it was about a girl. She did a video, she's like, this is me in The Last of Us, the world. And she's like, The Last of Us. And then she's like, are you Pedro Pascal? And she keeps going, oh, look, Pedro. And she's like, oh, Pedro, she can't save me. And I was like, yeah, that's me. Like, the way she's doing, she's like, oh, there's a monster, come grip me. And I'm like, oh, that's me. And I was like, yeah, I want to shag me some Pedro Pascal. No, okay, so it was episode 3.
Episode 3.
It was a very different episode.
Bill and Frank.
Yes, and I know, I don't even need to ask you this, but I will anyway. I know there's a lot of differences in this.
Yes.
From the game to...
There was none of this in the game.
Yeah, he was... Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I did see a comparison video. He was gay in the game.
He was gay.
And that other guy did exist, but you see a note, like a farewell note or some shit.
Frank got bitten in the game. Frank got bitten. Couldn't take it anymore, so he hung himself. He wanted to still be human when he wanted to dig.
Right, there you go.
I knew that. Bill was gay because when they drove away in Bill's truck, there was gay porn mags in the back, and Ellie was looking at them.
There you go. There you go. Was he a conspiracy nut inside of the game as well? Yes. Yeah, because in this he's a dead, like...
Yes.
What does he say? Nazis run, whatever. Nazis are in the government kind of shit.
Bill was the... I'll actually figure it out. Bill was the weapons guy, the conspiracy nuts.
Does he die at all in the game? Because from what I've made out, you go back to him, do you not, to get weapons?
In the game, he goes his own way. He says, get the fucking truck. Get the truck. Get the battery.
Yeah, okay. So that's the only
get out of my town kind of situation.
So you don't know what happens to him after that?
No.
Right, okay. Because again, from what I saw in the game, they come up to his house and you have to gather up some parts and you bring them back. I'm assuming you spend a little bit of time there.
You spend a time with Bill.
Yeah.
Right, it's not just his house. It was just that
Bill's little town. City. Well, sorry, that little village town we made. Because that bit was right cool. See, this one, hopefully they haven't done it for that reason. This got rated 10 out of 10. Off IGN and everybody. It said it was the best TV episode of any show of all time ever. And I'm like, that didn't beat the first 2 episodes for me. Not by a long shot.
It didn't for me.
Nah. Right. And the worst thing that annoyed me, right, because it's not necessarily annoying, on its own entity, right, outstanding. What a fucking heartbreaking love story. My mum cried. I was like, what have you done? The way that he doesn't kill his partner, the way that he helps him commit suicide. And he's like, I've done it with you, basically. Nothing there to kill a horse. And they go off together and you think, and the way he leaves them. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, mate. It's a beautiful love story. It's so good. And especially the way that he finds him was like, right, get out the hole, get out, and then, okay, you can have something to eat, and then, because I didn't know he was gay. This was new to me. You never said that part out.
And to be fair, I didn't realise we were going to go down this story. This bit was completely new to me. I thought we were going to meet Bill, get some weapons, and bugger off.
Yeah.
This whole thing was like, what the fuck?
And you only briefly get... I will say, actually, this quickly looks like the calm before the storm. I know you don't do it, but I watched the look up for next episode. This looks like it was the calm, and next episode is going to be... And every series does that. And I thought, okay, as a standalone story, fantastic. That was beautiful. You don't really get to see them relationships inside of a... I know it's not zombies, but zombie apocalypse type world, right? Yeah. Beautiful. But then when everything was done and dusted at the end and they all died, I thought... Why have you explained this love story to me and we're not going to explore it any more in the future? It kind of felt like a little bit, it did nothing to further the plot apart from let's just stop and take a look at this gay couple, have a beautiful relationship, we'll kill him at the end and then carry on. Because the only real connection we got was, he did know Joel and that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought, surely you'd want to keep at least one of them alive for us to understand his pain forward going to the future, but it was just like a full stop.
It would have been nice to see Bill...
And you could understand, if he was still alive and they still referenced him, whatever, you would understand him a bit more. I was like, surely they should have made that as like a one-off spin-off special. Because it did nothing for me, unless there's anything I missed, to further the plot. And I was a little bit annoyed at that, because again, I just watched this beautiful story. I was like, oh my God, this is heartbreaking, they're in love, amazing. Okay, yeah, he does know Joe, he owes him a favour, whatever, there's the car and shit, see you later. I was like, you've given me this whole entire backstory spanning over 20 years to this couple. Just that both died and I'm not going to see you again. I was like, what the fuck have you done that for? That was the only, that's why I was on 2 sides of this episode. Because I could see why people are absolutely adoring it, because I adored it. But then I'm like, going into the next episode, everything I've just saw was pointless.
There's a petition going around at the minute because that was only like a snippet of their love story.
Hey, if we did...
meant to be like at least 2.5 hours long, this love story.
If we did get a 4-1, yeah. But a lot of shows do it. I can't remember... Shows do it where they have the full series, but they'll kind of put like a random special episode out just involving them, and you don't have to worry about forward to the future. Yeah, that's my only gripe with it. I was like, what's the point in killing them both? Because I've just fell in love with these two characters for them both to die, for me to never continue any further.
Yeah.
I didn't see Joel's true embrace with it and whatnot. Because all you did to set up for the next one was Joel did meet him, he owed him a favour or whatever, left him a car, see you later. And I was like, well, you've broke my heart just to fuck me off.
Kind of situation, yeah.
Because I'm saying this, it wasn't a bad episode, it was a fantastic episode, it was fucking great. Still not as good as the first two.
You want me to go out?
What's the matter?
I don't know, he's playing again.
Leave him alone. We're talking Last of Us. So yeah, it was bizarre.
It was
good bizarre.
It was bizarre. I was not expecting that whatsoever, to be fair. I was like...
At least you got a shock as well.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to stick to the game, meet Bill, do what we need to do with Bill, and then...
Because I had all this
pop.
stuff in my head as well, because when we met him and all this shit, because I adored when he was rebuilding the town and whatnot and all that kind of shit. And when they did meet, it was like, well, I want to open at the boutique and we'll have friends over dinner parties. And then I remember, I was like, oh, Chris says that he proper rates Ellie. I can't wait to see him interact with Ellie and like be like hate her and that. And then like they died and never met. I was like, oh, I'm like, they're both fucking dead. You've never fallen in love with both of them just to fuck off.
Yeah.
But it was still a good episode. For me, it wasn't. I can see why it was a 10, but I can't give it a 10 because it didn't tie into the overall plot.
No.
If it was a standalone, beautiful. But because it's part of a grander story, it was like, yeah, look at this relationship, look, explore this. Don't worry, going forward because we're going to fuck them off now. I'm like, what the fuck? But it was still beautiful. That's why I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's a strange one because, like I say, we didn't get to see the bloater, which we would have in the film,
Yeah,
in
because
the game.
when the bloke gets introduced, when not long after you see him, is that right?
Yeah, you go to Bill's, get some weapons, go to the school to get a battery from a truck, and then you beat the bloater in the school.
Yeah.
But also we didn't get any of that.
But that's what I think, though, the next episode, I don't know if it is the bloater, because I'm not 100% sure what it looks like, but I think you might get that shit, and the next one does look, like I said, like...
Yeah. See, after I'm trying to think, like, in the game, you get the battery, after going through some more houses and whatever else, you get the battery, you find Bill, you find Frank hanging.
Oh, you actually see him hanging, do you?
Yeah.
Does the other girl know that he's hanging?
Yeah, me, Bill, Joel, Bill and
Oh,
Ellie
did they all
walk
find him
into
together?
one of the houses and we see Frank.
What, did he not know where he was hanging, or did
He
know
just
this
thought he
whole
just
time?
left.
Right, okay.
And then that's when Bill just says, look, just go. This is my town. Just fuck off.
Because it was that moment that made him say, right, okay.
Yeah. And then obviously that's when we left Bill. We took off with Joel and Ellie in the truck, and that's when we found out he was gay, and we had his wagon, for his porn mags and everything else. And then we head into one of the big cities where they get attacked upon.
They're heading now to the big city.
So, if it's that, then obviously we've missed that bloater, but we'll come across some people who are dickheads.
Is the bloater in the trailer they've given for this show, the one that's like coming out the fire, like that? I don't know if you've seen much of the trailers around. But there's a scene from the show, not the game, where it's like coming out the ground like just like. Rrr.
I haven't seen. I don't know. I haven't really excited. I kept.
I know you said you were better. Have you seen just a quick sign, the meme? There's an old meme of Pedro Pascal laughing and crying in a video. I think he's reacting to something, but it's like he's like and then he starts crying, and people have screenshotted it to the happy moment saying renewed for season 2, and then. When you know what happens and it's him crying, and I'm like, I only get that because Chris told me, but it makes, because Pedro Pascal like, yeah, renewed season 2, then it's him crying if you know what happens.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to mention season 2 just yet, but since you brought it up, yes, it has been confirmed season 2 will be happening. Obviously Ellie will be a bit more grown up. We find out she's a lesbian anyhow.
Yeah.
She ends up in a relationship with Dina. So we follow Ellie and Dina, but we also get to introduce Abby as well. Which we end up hating at one point. following her
I
again.
watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is going to be a huge spoiler because I need you to tell me why. I watched the fight scene in the water between her and Thingy where it's because she's about to drown her and kill her. I'm pretty much conflicted because I'm just watching all the side-by-side comparisons. I've done it the wrong way. What are they fighting over? Because there's something in the boat and she gets a flashback
Lem.
of Joel.
That's Lem. That's who Abby meets on her journey. You'll figure out.
Wait, so it's not Ellie fighting her in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, but the person in the boat is Lem.
Right, and Lem is
part of another tribe called what the fuck they're called?
Not Firefly people.
No, apart from another tribe.
Right.
Who are against Abby's tribe. So both tribes are fighting each other. But she saves him in the second game.
But Abby saves him.
Abby saves him and his sister.
Right, okay.
And then them two find a bond and connect them, help each other along the way.
Was Ellie about to kill him or something? Or,
no.
Just because obviously it looks like she was fighting for whatever was in the boat.
Ellie is still on her path of revenge.
For what happened to Joel?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
Because it was a brutal fight. I mean,
and you could see both of them towards the end. As you play in the game, towards the end, you see both of them, bless them, they're fucked. Yeah. They're absolutely
but
fucked.
It looked, from what I watched, I don't know how... Is that fight you played or is it a cutscene?
No, it's you play.
I couldn't tell because it was just a shot, so I didn't know if it was a cutscene. And fucking Ellie, towards the end, she smashes the fuck out of her. She's probably stabbing her up and that, getting down, you're like, oh my god, is this that? Because again, I'm at the stage now in my life where I don't like this Abby. She's a prick, you can fuck off. Yeah. Obviously, haven't had the story you've got. I hate you. You killed Pedro, fuck off.
Yeah.
So cool, but it's Joel, fuck off. And she's about to drown her, but she gets a flashback, and I'm thinking, why did she let her get away with the boat? So, and is that where the story ends with the second game?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you don't know what happened to them afterwards, and you don't. Right. Okay,
no.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If that isn't there, that's going to be great to watch.
I reckon that will be in the second season because they're sticking to it as best they can.
So I wonder then, because is it just the second game they split the stories? Yes, to 3 different characters. Yeah. So I wonder if each episode will be dedicated to a.
So you get 3 days with Ellie, and you get 3 days with Abby, and they both kind of end up in the same part.
The people that haven't been blessed with like me with the knowledge that you've got about it, and they really don't know that Joel dies. I can see this being a whole Negan situation over again. With Glenn, I can see fucking uproar and But to be fair, the game's that big and there's a lot of word going out and the memes are everywhere. I think a lot of that might be spoiled. I think a lot of people might know.
Possibly.
It's still going to hit hard.
Oh, definitely.
And the death itself's a little bit blunt because it's a shotgun shot and then they go back and they bludgeon him.
Kind of.
Because, he gets shot when he's getting held. Then he's on the deck.
Yeah, Abby shoots his knee out.
Yeah, that's it, and he's laying down. I'm sure, and I'm sure
he gets beaten up with a golf.
Yeah.
And then she gets told to hurry up and finish it, so she does one last blow to the head.
Yeah.
And obviously...
It's quite...
and obviously Ellie's there to witness that last bit.
And do they kill his brother in that room as well? Because they hold his... No. Does he eventually die or not? No. So he's still alive?
Oh, he's alive.
So I wonder if you get to maybe play as him in a third game, or...
I don't think so.
No, has he not got enough of an impact?
Him and Ellie had a bit of a fallout.
Oh, right, okay.
In the second game, halfway through the second game, well, 3/4 way through the second
Why, does he blame her for Joel's death or something?
Not blames her, but she returns back to Dina and Ellie's fucked. She just wants to live peace and quiet.
Right, yeah.
And then Tommy comes around and says, look, I found her, let's go after her. And
Ellie's like, no, I
want a thingy.
Oh, so she won't help exact revenge?
And then Tommy fucks off with an argument with a stubby face and everything else. And then Ellie kind of wakes up in the middle of the night and says, fuck it, I'm going to go back after her. Right. And then obviously things with Dina, because obviously Dina was pregnant to another character's baby.
Yeah.
But something happens to him.
Yeah. Yeah. Does it show you how Joel and his brother get split up?
No.
No, it doesn't. You never actually explore that.
It's kind of what we're listening to now. He joined the Fireflies by Joel.
Right, okay. So they might have been at the same stage and his brother was... What's his brother called?
Tommy.
Tommy might have been like, I agree with these lot. I'm going. Joel's like, no.
Basically.
I've still, to be fair, haven't gotten over the girl, his girlfriend, Tessa's. I still haven't really got her because I proper fell in love with her, and I fell in love with her a bit more in this episode, obviously when she was making the agreements, because he was like coming to the house, and the conspiracy guy, he's like, "Oh, where are you going to the house?"
I like Tess.
Yeah, I probably liked her. I was like, I want to get more of her.
While we're on about Tess, actually, the woman who played Tess in the game actually passed away this week with cancer.
Never.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Rest in peace to her.
They might have a in memoriam at the end of the next episode, then, or
a sign at the end of it, probably. But yeah, she passed away this week.
How long does she last in the game? Because obviously this is 2 episodes. How long in the game is it? A couple of hours?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same time frame. Yeah, but I only had 2 episodes when I was like, I really like you.
As an actress, I can't remember her name, but she's good.
Yeah, you said she was.
Like, I like her in Fringe.
Going back to the gun guy. Bill. He's. I like the way that he had so many plans. Like there was that thing to play if he were to die, and if it stopped the intermission to get the electric going, and John knocks it off at the end and whatnot. And I just love the way that everything was still nicely done and clean, and the way. What was the crack every time he put a dinner down? He turned. He was
OCD. He didn't like people touching things.
I thought that's what it was because he put the bowl down and he turned it, and I'm like,
yeah.
Is there a reason he's supposed to eat it that way? Is there a...
Yeah, he just didn't like things touched and moved and everything else. That's why I was a bit sceptical about the guy who played his piano. I was like,
right, yeah. I absolutely adored, like, honestly, this is why I can't say that the episode definitely wasn't shit. It just annoys me out of time, but I adored when everything kicked off and he was the because obviously you find out the people that went on that buggy with the army lot end up dying. And he's sat there waiting, he's like, yeah, I knew it. He comes out with his gas mask, everyone's gone, he's like, right, let's get to work, and he's getting this, he's getting that. I'm like, you thought about this so much, and everyone's boarded up, puts the fence up and that. He's got the trappers eating his dinner. He's like, it still never gets old or whatever he says. I was like, you're fucking mint, you.
I like it.
And the actor that plays him, he was hilarious in Perks and Recreation. He's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you little bastard!
What?
It's got my fucking work shoe.
Shit myself.
What have you done with it?
Has he got it? This is where we find out he's destroyed it.
My boots, yes.
I'll pause visual. Back to it anyway, so we're talking Last of Us. But I did really like him. I thought he was a class-ass character, and it was fun, and it was awesome. I was just a bit gutted of how it ended. It didn't tie into the future. Why the fuck did you put me out?
But like I say, yes, we didn't see anything else of Bill in the game, apart from what we played. But
because obviously in the game, from what you've said, you don't get that much of an in-depth look. You sort of have to put it together. And that's what I mean. They went for this well-written, well-thought-out story of a backstory.
This was
just
a well-written story just for Bill.
Fall in love. Fuck you. That's exactly. I was like, what?
This was a well-written story for Bill. Thingy.
Even the moment at the end where he's left the window open, like planning that shit out because they're going to be dead in the bed and all this shit, and I'm like,
yeah, I've left the window open so it doesn't stink.
I'm starting again, man. Fuck off.
Bill was the man. He was on the ball.
Fucking was.
If I was a fucking in apocalypse, I want to be with Bill.
And mate, and I understand that it's very early because we're only in February. We come to do our podcast at the end of the year for our favourite things. But so far, my stand-up character is him. Pedro Pascal's Joe is obvious, but I feel like it's biasry. Try and look at it without being biased as an actual character that made me genuinely fall in love. I fucking loved him. He was unreal.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bill. And in the game, we don't know if it's R.I.P. But
well, that's it. We don't. We'll just leave Bill.
Yeah. So going off because obviously we were told it's going to be exactly like the game. This one's not. Did you prefer it or did you not?
I was surprised, but yeah, I did like it. It was. Like you say, 1 minute we're fucking, we had people in our face and everything else, and then the next minute it was just like calm and calm.
Yeah, it does feel like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, watching a nice love story. It was different, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, and as well at first, was it Tom, the other guy? What was his name? I'm forgetting what his name. The guy that he falls in love with? Frank. It felt at first, I wasn't sure if he was gay, because they do all this stuff, and he's like, he looks a bit nervous to do it. I'm thinking, is he just doing this just so he can stay in the house a bit longer, or what? But I think maybe he was actually gay. You know the way he acted it?
Yeah.
And I was like, is he actually gay? Is he just sort of willing to suck a bit of dick to get a dinner?
You didn't, like, say, you had no interaction with Frank the first time you seen him was when
he's hanging in a fucking...
Yeah.
At least they give him more of a dignified death, I guess, in this.
Yeah, and like say, you only got the snippets with Bill, towards the end, as you were leaving, he was just, yeah, that's Frank. That was someone I used to care about, and that was it. It was just a good friend of his.
I was,
and then we seen all the porn, and we seen the porn lights, and it was like,
the gay
yeah,
porn.
he's gay.
I was expecting him to be a lot more angrier. From what I've seen the clips and what you've said, I was expecting him to be very angry, even though he wasn't. It wasn't as much more, but more shut off and a bit more impatient.
Yeah, in the game again, going back towards the game, Bill is short-tempered and he just didn't like people.
Yeah, proper conspiracy nut.
If he didn't know you, he didn't like people. Just don't touch his things because he hate things getting touched.
Yeah, and it's quite mad because he knew that this was coming somehow. These conspiracy nuts get them right, I guess sometimes.
Yeah.
But he knew that something like this was on its way because obviously he was prepared for it.
Yeah.
So, shut up. So, you always say don't talk about the last one. She keeps talking. I've lost my train of thought there now.
But no, it was a good episode. It was different.
No, it was a fantastic episode.
Wasn't expecting it whatsoever.
Still, like I said, I would have given the first. I would have said for my personal ranking, the episode's number 110 because that intro was fucking disgusting. Oh, it was amazing. I would have given episode 2 probably either a 9 or a 10. I would have given this a 9 purely based on it was a hell of a lot of backstory not to impact the future of the plot.
Yeah.
That's my only downside.
It's one of them episodes where if you didn't want to watch The Last of Us, you could just watch this. Or if you did want to watch The Last of Us, you can skip this one.
Yeah.
And jump to number 4.
100%.
It was one of them episodes.
Because all you'd need to say is, oh, yeah, Joel got that car from a lad that he knew.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
It's like a cutscene. You next minute you were driving in a truck.
And I saw a lot of people at work which did my head in a little bit because I corrected them and I said, I only knew it because from what the video saw, they said, oh, they've only made a gay scene because of modern culture. They had to tick all the boxes, make a gay character and all this shit. I said, no, from what I've seen, he's actually gay in the game. So it's not like something they've made up new. Not like Dumbledore, oh, he's dead now. Oh, by the way, he was gay. Not something like that. I don't think they were ticking any boxes. I think they actually just bought this gay character because he's gay in the games. Because you see, a lot of people
yeah. At least say we had a backstory. We knew he was gay. Or for those who played the game, should say, we knew he was gay. The same with Ellie. We know she's a lesbian.
And I bet you it would have been a nice little jaw dropper moment when that guy and they started to kiss. That a lot of people in the audience were like, "Oh my god, I didn't expect to go down this way." So it wasn't just a random. Sexuality is obviously explored a hell of a lot in this game. Like you said, there's lesbian, there's a gay guy. So
but going through the 13, 14 years or whatever it was with Bill and Frank, it was
a beautiful, and eventually, like I said, he started off being very closed, and then he let obviously him have his own part of the house and whatnot. He had his little art room and stuff, and stop getting goosebumps. Like, it was a beautiful love story, but it just pissed me off because why did you break my heart to kick me in the nuts? Fuck off! But I still love you. It's like a weird one. Because the episode ended, I was like, what? Because I was half expecting Joel to rock up and him being there, and I thought to myself, oh, this is why he's going to be pure angry because his love's lost, he's back on his own, he doesn't like me to fuck off to the world. That's why he's going to be an angry cunt now, he's just dead with him. I was like, oh, fuck. Little motherfucker.
Yeah, it was nice seeing them grow old together. And
it was beautiful, that's what I mean, it was beautiful.
It was.
It was another, this show's still absolutely smashing it. My own, I keep repeating myself, my only gripe is it didn't further the plot. It just made me fall in love, and I want to know more about that big gap. Like you said, you could do a prequel game about Joel's 20.
To be fair, you could do a prequel. You could do a spin-off with Bill.
Hey, I would love some sort of weird spin-off. Hey, even if you just wanted to rip it off, where it was a game where you had to play as Bill.
A more in-depth background story with Bill.
Yeah.
How he became a conspiracy nut and seeing all before he's fucking hour and a half episode.
And how it was quite a long episode as well, wasn't it? Because I think episode 2 was in like 40 odd, and then we jumped up to 80 minutes or something. Yeah, which is good. I like when television's like, because the first episode was an hour and a half, wasn't it? Yeah. So fucking down. And like you said, there's only 9 episodes. We're nearly getting towards the halfway mark already. It's mad. It's like when Disney come up with shows and we're like episode 9 or whatever of Moon Knight. Like, how did we get here that quick? We're doing the same. Maybe we get fucking proper smashing through them.
Yeah.
But it's still an outstanding show, and I can't wait. I know you haven't looked at the next, what's coming up next, but from what I can tell, it's going to be, because they are in a big city.
If you're going off what you're saying, then like I said, we must be entering the city at some point, and then obviously coming across other humans. They must start firing or something.
Yeah, it's got sort of.
That's what basically happens in the game.
Yeah,
you leave Bill's place with his truck. and then cutscene, and then you drive to the big city, and there's people shooting at you.
I also do like as well that they haven't blown their load, which given us loads of the fucking runners, whatever, the clickers and shit like that. I like that they're slowly bringing them in, and you know, because we're like, we've got all the big evils now, so they're slowly dripping us in with all the little stuff. I really do like that. If there ever is an apocalypse of some kind, we'll find Bill. Find the closest thing we can to a Bill. We were talking yesterday on the way home from work with me and little Richie Rich about where would we be for a zombie apocalypse, and we both agreed my work would be fucking outstanding because there's jags of vehicles, there's loads of gas, that like fuel there. We've got food. Where we close up, we've got the wholesale market, which is closed in apart from our things. We've got the keys to it. We've got jags of it. We can make Lego block walls. We've got weapons. We've got heat, we've got running water, we've got generators to keep power going. So this would be a mid-place. You need to just fortify this area a bit.
Yeah. And
be fucking bang on. We said we've got big 7.5 tonners, we've got fucking Arctic wagons, we've got mixer wagons, we've got fucking... The stackers alone, you can make them some sort of weaponized...
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, if there's ever a apocalypse, mate, we've got the keys. We've got big silos, so we can go up top and keep watch. Fucking mint, man.
Nice.
If we need to make more concrete to fortify anything, we've got an abundance of aggregates and shit, cement.
We're going to your spot then.
Yeah, we'll go to my spot, smash right through that vending machine, take the Mentos. I've got loads of bags of Mentos, well, not loads, I'm thinking about my last two. I went in with £10, I got it all put in change, I got 10 bags of Mentos. I felt sick last night.
Why?
I just like Mentos.
Fair enough.
If I've got 2 bags, take a bag, because you're like them. Have a look, if there's 2 bags left, take a bag. There you go, because I'm getting sick of them. I'm getting pure sick of
Mentos. I'm surprised, got 10 bags.
I went for a piss that looked like a rainbow, I don't know how. Well, have you got anything else to add to that, mate? Because I can only go from the love story point of view. I can.
Like I said, it was a complete different thing to what we have in the game, so it was all new to me. Did we need it? Probably not. But it was a fucking brilliant story.
Yeah.
It really was a brilliant story.
That's the best way to say it. It was a beautiful story, just completely out of place.
Yeah.
No, that's why I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10, just because of that one factor.
Yeah. I've got no issues with it.
Unless,
it wasn't needed, but it got put there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
See, before the show come out, right, before you watch this episode, and the people that made the show, they said to you this is how this episode would go, would you be like, oh, why are you doing that? Or do you reckon you'd be intrigued? So I know you can't, it's hard to answer because you have seen the episode, but imagine you haven't seen it and they said, yeah, this character you love, we're going to show you him committing double suicide with him and his husband, and we're not going to further...
I'll be a bit annoyed because I'll know if that's not how the game goes.
Yeah, right, would you? But obviously you've seen the episode now, so you thingy, but...
Because like I said, we don't see Bill after in the game. Mm-hmm. Once we leave Bill's, that's it, we don't see him again.
Yeah.
So we don't know what happened to him after, or we could commit suicide with Frank. What, I don't know. We don't know.
Oh, mate, before we go, I love the bit where he defended his bit. I think he wakes up and there's fire outside and he gets shot. Yeah, and he's got all his traps, his flamethrower traps and that. You're like, you're a fucking genuine madman. Yeah. And I love it as well because you got to remember as well, without his boyfriend, it's very unlikely he would have opened up to Joel and thingy.
Yeah.
And that's why they let him come in, they traded and whatnot, and they did everything they had to do.
It was nice they got married at the end though.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Fuck off! Joel gave him the seeds for the strawberries for, I can't remember what he said he traded. A gun?
Weapons.
Weapons. That's because you could see that he was dead excited. He's like, strawberries. And he's like, we don't have sex on here.
Don't crush the strawberries.
We'll do it when we get back in. But yeah, honestly, it was fun. It was absolutely beautiful. It's just...
It's not something you see much on TV nowadays, though, is it? Grown-ass men have a gay relationship like that. How much depth went into it like that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right. And there's another big tick for this episode. It's not very often that in this new chaotic world of... I know they're not really... Let's just say zombies, for lack of a better word. Zombies, in this massive chaos, death, destruction, murdering, people killing each other and that. This just little square of beautiful purity and happiness inside of all this chaos.
Yeah.
And that I like that we explored that. because you got to break from it all. And it was nice to see in that massive storm that one ray of sunshine. It was quite nice, but that's why it's just annoying because it hasn't furthered the plot, and I fell in love with them. But there you go. I hope they have if they do have Funko Pops this released. I don't feel like I've earned the right to complete a set, but I'd like to have them too, just like together, like relationship goals. Fucking amazing. I tried to get my night visitor to watch it, and she couldn't finish it because she said it was too scary. And I was like, come on, but she's proper into like love stories like that. And I said, she's like, I've heard all about it. I'm like, you should have stuck with it. But I tried, we did episode 1, it was the bit where the old lady's in the wheelchair doing that shit. Nah, knock it off. I was like, it's not scary, man. She's like, nah, can't do it. I was like, right. And then she was like, oh no, that sounds amazing. I was like, fucking stick with it.
Yeah. I'm telling everyone to watch it. Like, I love it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be heartbroken if... I don't think I'll be heartbroken if somebody come to me and said, yeah, I enjoyed it, but that episode was a bit weird. Because if they might not see it how we've just explained it, they might see it as a... And I wouldn't be as thingied. I could understand if people are like, I just want the hardcore... It was fair enough, because it's a post-apocalypse thing. You want to see monsters get destroyed and that, go for it. It's like if we watch Transformers, if they put this in Transformers, I'm like, nah, man, I just want to see the robots fuck up shit.
Yeah.
But hey-o. But yeah, 9 out of 10 for me. The show overall still getting a 10 out of 10. But I definitely, for me, wasn't the best episode. Some people might be giving it the 10 because they don't want to seem homophobic. I'm guessing there might be people out there. I'm just not giving it the 10 because it was beautiful, but should have felt the plot.
I've heard mixed rumours about it. Mostly I've been positive. But I have heard a couple of people say, what was the fucking point in that? Well, why do I want to see 2 grown-ass men have all that shit? It's like, well, dude, just fucking watch the programme.
Yeah, but like we've just explained, unfortunately for them, I've got you to explain this to me. And they already gay, blah, 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 and I've done a little bit of research.
There was a lot of people, he's not fucking gay, that's not right. It is.
Yeah, he's right.
Play the game.
It's not Dumbledore. Until they had Fantastic Beasts, all we got was Dumbledore's dead. Oh, by the way, he was gay. What the fuck's the point? There was no point in telling. Whereas this... There was every point of it. So, they didn't... 100% of people out there that are annoyed, like, why don't I watch a gay scene? This definitely wasn't a case of, let's make them gay for the sake of being gay.
It wasn't... You don't look at it, it's like, oh, yeah, it's just 2 grown-ass men just having a fucking gay relationship.
A lot of beard sex.
It was a love story. Regardless if the male, female, fucking whatever, it was a love story. Yeah. And it was a beautiful love story.
Yeah, and I like my little metaphor I've just shared. This little bit of innocent purity, love, amazingness in a world of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved it.
Right, did you give it a rating?
It's a 10 from me.
It's a 10 out of 10 from Chris.
It's part of the fucking episode on
that's what I mean. My downside is so minuscule. But I'm going to be honest, as a not storyteller, don't tell stories, but as a story reader, that's the only thing But like I said, it's such a just a little dink in the chink in the armor. Chink in the armor. Is that right? What the word? No, dink. What's chink in the armor?
Dink.
Is it a dink?
A dink. Dink in the armor.
Yeah, whatever. Little dent in the armor. But yeah, it was beautiful.
Yes, we didn't get to. It was pointless episode, yes, but it's still tied in because. We got the weapons Joel needed.
Yep.
We got the truck Joel needed. So it was still part of the episode. It was just the love story inside the episode we just didn't need.
Yeah.
But we got it anyhow.
We got it, and I loved it. I liked, even though the actress is still doing my head in, it's that flat face. I'm sorry. I'm an ugly, fat, minging, balding bastard. I have no right. But your face is annoying. Like it's what it is about you. Even as that little, not Stark, but the North girl, she was annoying. But the character I love, and I love that Ellie was so like seatbelt. She's like, "What the fuck is a seatbelt?" He's like,
"Yeah, it's like a spaceship."
Yeah, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Took it in.
And like I say, as you get to know Ellie a bit more, they start opening up with each other, and Ellie is obsessed with space. She loves space. And there's a scene in the second game where it's for her birthday. He takes her to and she also loves dinosaurs. Where they take her to a space dinosaur museum.
Wow, that would be a good museum.
Fucking, again, just the relationship between them two.
Yeah, bonding. I can see that slowly.
The relationship. Even I was like.
Yeah, I can see that blossoming. Man, it's gonna be
fucking. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait.
It's great. She was very excited about the play, wasn't she? Did you ever go on one of the things? It's like, yeah. She's like, wow. Yeah. But yeah, we'll end it there, visuals. The Last of Us episode 3, that was reviewed, done, dusted, 9 for me, 10 for Chris. All around the show is still getting a 10. Amazing. What a beautiful love story. It's just a shame it didn't tie in. That's the way I end it.
In a way, it kind of did.
No, but it's minuscule bits.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yes.
But that's like I said, it's hard. It was hard for me to even find a fault.
I've never seen a love story like that before.
No, it was fucking beautiful. And that's coming from somebody that loves the films like fucking P.S. I Love You and The Notebook. I love love stories.
I don't do love stories.
Yeah.
I don't do romance.
But
But I was like, yeah, man.
Yeah. And again, going into this, I didn't know he was gay. I didn't know he would fall in love. I didn't know that's how it went. But from what I got from you was he's an angry bastard that doesn't like Ellie. So I was like, and then when I got that, I was like, So, yeah. There we have the visuals. The Last of Us, episode 4 up on Monday. But I watch on Sunday night.
Yes.
And the rest of the world watch on Monday morning or Monday evening or whatever it is. Monday. Thank you for listening. Always keep being you, keep on keeping on.
As always, love you, bye.
I love you, Pedro Pascal.